One thing when you think of when it comes to holiday time is probably going to be about the big bucks. Okay, Bruce Sellery is here to talk about a budget during the holidays.
Yeah.
So apparently you need a budget during the
You
holidays.
need a budget if last year you spent more than 2 months paying off your credit card.
Okay.
Or you currently have a balance on your credit card, or you just worry about it. So if you don't worry about it, you never carry a balance, you buy whatever the heck you want on holiday.
Okay,
Fantastic.
then.
Do whatever you want. Celebrate away. But if you worry or if you carry a budget, you need to be listening. Actually, even if you don't need a budget, you need to be listening. Just be smug about it. Just be like, I don't need that. Somebody else does, not me.
The problem around this time of year is that we get really emotional about it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we get so super emotional about many different things. Remember that overspending is overspending.
Right.
And if you're buying shoes for yourself and you're like, oops, I accidentally bought some shoes. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. But we justify it when it's stuff for our kids and for our families. Overspending, still overspending. And so you have to find that balance for yourself as a parent. Second, gifts aren't love. I don't know if you knew that. They are not love. We have done such a good job, I think, in many areas, removing that link, like love and food. We've been working to remove that link. They aren't
Are you saying
love.
food is not love?
I'm just breaking the paradigm. We're in the Matrix here for Tracey Moore. And the last thing I'd say around the holidays is if you are considering tweaking things or changing things, it can be scary. It is unfamiliar and it can be scary. So just know that, wow, if I'm considering doing things a little differently, you might be a little anxious about that.
Now, you're saying it doesn't really matter what your number is, though.
I don't care what the number is.
You just need a number that you're not going to go beyond.
Yes, so you're going to add this stuff up, and then you're going to have a number, and then also know how you're going to pay for it. So you say, listen, the holidays cost me $2 grand. That's what it cost me. Cost me $1 grand. Cost me $5 grand. Whatever it costs you, how are you then going to pay for it? Because the credit card bill arrives in January or February, and people open it and go, oh, what happened? Well, I'll tell you what happened. You were in the mall. That's what happened. No surprise there.
Okay, the number can be whatever you want. You got to know how to pay for it. Walk us through sort of how to organize this whole thing. Are we writing down every single thing?
You may want to, depending on how detailed you want to be. But there are some big buckets and some surprises within the big buckets. So gifts, of course. Many people buy gifts. But are there people you buy gifts for that you just like, oh, right, I do buy a gift for the teacher?
Yes, every year. I forget people.
Is there a charitable contribution that you would like to make or do make? On the clothing and entertainment front, people are like, oh, right, I did just buy a tacky holiday sweater or a fancy new dress. I got my hair and nails done. Those kinds of things count. Hosting can be really expensive. Liquor, decor, that kind of stuff. And also on the travel and entertainment front, it includes your tickets to the Christmas Carol or whatever nutcracker you're going to go to see. Babysitters, cab fare, flights, all that kind of stuff. So think really deeply about what's on that list because it may be larger than you originally anticipated.
How can we be a little bit more creative?
Oh my gosh, I had such a great time finding these ideas. So in my family, we did $5 Christmas. So the gifts had to be $5. And I used to lead tours all over the world. So I collected the toiletries from hotels. And everybody received soaps of the world. So you could do that. Another one is a book exchange. So you wrap up a book that you love, not just a book. You and I get a lot of free books. Don't do that. A book that you love that you read.
But I like to pass on books that I love.
Have you ever heard of the white elephant game?
No.
Where you bring something that you don't want anymore, you wrap it up, the first person in the group party opens it up, and then the second person can either choose a gift from the pile or steal the gift that was already opened. So it's a raucous, crazy, super fun kind of game.
My family would like that.
Oh, they would like that, right? Because it's like, oh, it's a plastic singing fish. I want that. Great. And then here's another one that doesn't cost a penny, but is wonderful. It comes from my mom, who's super oogly boogly. My mother's like, makes her own yogurt and worships the sun, that kind of mom. She has this acknowledgement exercise. And what you do is you write something wonderful about every person and put it in their stocking or in their present or in an envelope or whatever. So you get to open up and read all these awesome things that people have said about you. Doesn't cost a penny. And I love that exercise. It's a wonderful thing. Don't necessarily do it with teenagers because they may not be super signed up for saying super nice things. But you know, it's a great way to approach things in a cheap way.
I I love that idea, and it probably it can mean a lot more.
Yeah.
Dr. Karen Gordon once said she does letters, and so that's what Leo and I do. It sounded so like, oh my God, I'm gonna barf from my mouth. But then when we did it in real life, it's actually the most beautiful thing we do every Christmas. It's a summation of the year. It's the things that we've gone through, and it's the stuff we love about each other.
That's beautiful.
And we exchange that every Christmas.
Do you handwrite
no gifts. I do.
Or type it in Word?
I handwrite it.
Because if you typed it in Word, you could just reuse it every year, which would be super fast. Just add a few, remember that time, and then just save it.
Just change the date.
Yeah, change the date. That would be very efficient. Christmas shopping done in 15 seconds.
I want to know how you feel about regifting.
It's high risk. And
Is
I don't
it?
particularly love it because what I think a lot of the regifting is around gifts that are obligations.
Yes.
Instead, like I'm supposed to give something.
Yeah.
But with Abby, because she won't watch this right now because she's only 7.
Yeah.
So we do it because I went to this event and I got all this stuff from the event, like canvases and paints and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I hoard the stuff that I receive over the year. I'm almost no longer going to be able to do that. She is on to me.
She's on to you.
She's on to me.
Yeah.
She just had her birthday, and what we've always done is separated her gifts, and we don't let her open all her gifts at once. We hide half the gifts.
Me too.
Yeah. And this year, she's like, where are the gifts? Where are the rest of the gifts? This isn't all the gifts.
She knows.
She's figured it out.
Yeah.
She's figured it out. So regifting
not
not such a big thing.
Okay, all right, I like it. Resetting expectations. How do we chill out a little bit about the holiday season?
Yeah. And you have to talk about family and maybe friends about how you're gonna reset expectations.
Yeah.
Let's pare back. Some people might not be prepared to do that. So remember that they're emotional and that maybe a solution that you have with your family might not work with your friends or vice versa. And you know, my best friend on the planet is still a gift giver, and so we have to navigate that. I give gifts to almost no one else in the family, but I do make sure I bring out my laughing hat.
That's important.
So if you're getting distressed about the spending, laugh a little.
Just laugh.
Just laugh a little.
It's all right. It's gonna be fine.
It's all right.
Yes.
Fine.